In a dramatic turn of events that has captivated the public and legal communities alike, an ex-assistant to music mogul Sean Diddy Combs recently broke down in court while testifying about her decision to remain silent on alleged assaults committed by the hip-hop icon. The emotional testimony has reignited conversations around power dynamics, workplace silence, and the psychological toll of remaining complicit, even unintentionally, in the face of abuse. As details emerge from the courtroom proceedings, it becomes increasingly clear how complex and multifaceted the issue of speaking out truly is, particularly within high-pressure, celebrity-driven environments where loyalty, fear, and financial dependence often intertwine. The woman, whose identity remains protected due to the sensitive nature of the allegations, was once a trusted member of Diddy's inner circle, working closely with him for several years during the height of his career. Her role required constant availability, discretion, and an unwavering commitment to maintaining the image and operations of one of the most influential figures in entertainment. It was within this context that she claims she witnessed or became aware of multiple incidents involving physical and emotional mistreatment directed toward others, and possibly herself. Despite these experiences, she remained silent for years, only coming forward now as part of a broader legal case involving multiple accusers who allege a pattern of abuse and misconduct by Diddy over decades. During her emotionally charged testimony, the former assistant described the intense pressure she felt while working for such a powerful figure. She spoke of long hours, erratic demands, and an environment where questioning authority was not just discouraged but practically unthinkable. According to her account, Diddy cultivated a culture of fear and control, where employees were expected to comply without question, and those who failed to meet expectations were swiftly replaced or publicly humiliated. This atmosphere, she explained, made it nearly impossible to speak up, even when witnessing troubling behavior. One of the most striking aspects of her testimony was her admission that she knew more than she had previously revealed. When pressed by attorneys involved in the case, she acknowledged that there were instances where she saw evidence of assault, heard threatening language, and observed injuries on colleagues that suggested foul play. Yet despite all of this, she stayed quiet, choosing instead to focus on her job and avoid drawing attention to herself. In hindsight, she admitted regretting that decision deeply, describing it as a source of ongoing guilt and emotional turmoil. What makes her story particularly compelling is the insight it offers into the psychology of silence. Many people assume that if someone witnesses wrongdoing, they will naturally feel compelled to speak out. However, the reality is far more complicated, especially in cases involving celebrities or high-profile individuals who wield significant influence over their employees' careers and personal lives. For the former assistant, the decision to stay silent was not rooted in a lack of conscience, but rather in a very real understanding of the potential consequences. She feared retaliation, loss of income, damage to her reputation, and even physical harm. These fears, she explained, were not unfounded. She had seen what happened to others who crossed Diddy or questioned his actions, and she did not want to share their fate. Moreover, the assistant described a sense of loyalty that developed over time, despite the difficult working conditions. She emphasized that Diddy could be incredibly charismatic and generous, often rewarding loyal staff with gifts, promotions, and opportunities that few others would ever receive. This duality, the coexistence of kindness and cruelty, further complicated her ability to process what she was experiencing. She found herself torn between admiration for his success and discomfort with some of his behaviors, ultimately deciding that staying silent was the safest course of action. The court proceedings have also shed light on the broader culture of silence that exists within many entertainment industry workplaces. Witnesses and legal experts alike have pointed to a systemic issue wherein employees are conditioned to prioritize loyalty and discretion over ethics, often at great personal cost. In industries like music, film, and fashion, where jobs can be scarce and competition fierce, individuals may feel that they have little choice but to tolerate inappropriate behavior in order to maintain their positions. This dynamic is exacerbated by the presence of non-disclosure agreements, legal threats, and the sheer intimidation factor of working for someone as powerful as Diddy. Another key element of the former assistant's testimony was her discussion of the emotional impact of keeping silent. Over time, she said, the weight of what she knew began to take a toll on her mental health. She experienced anxiety, depression, and feelings of shame, which only intensified after news of other allegations against Diddy began to surface. Watching other women come forward with similar stories filled her with both validation and regret. Validation because she knew they were telling the truth, and regret because she wished she had spoken up sooner. She described feeling complicit in a system that allowed abuse to continue unchecked, and this realization led to a deep internal conflict that eventually culminated in her decision to testify. Legal analysts following the case have noted that the former assistant's testimony could have significant implications for the outcome of the trial. Her insider perspective provides a rare glimpse into the inner workings of Diddy's organization, offering credibility to the claims made by other accusers. Moreover, her willingness to admit her own complicity, however reluctant, adds a layer of authenticity to her account that could resonate with jurors. By acknowledging her own failure to act, she humanizes herself in a way that may make her more relatable and trustworthy in the eyes of the court. At the same time, the case raises important questions about accountability and responsibility. Should individuals who work closely with powerful figures be held to a higher standard when it comes to reporting misconduct? Or does placing that expectation ignore the very real barriers that prevent people from coming forward? These are complex ethical dilemmas that do not have easy answers, but they are essential to consider as society continues to grapple with issues of abuse, exploitation, and institutional silence. As the trial moves forward, the former assistant's testimony serves as a powerful reminder of the courage it takes to speak out and the immense pressure that prevents so many from doing so. Her breakdown in court was not merely a moment of weakness, but rather a manifestation of years of pent-up emotion, guilt, and fear finally being released. It is a testament to the psychological burden carried by those who find themselves entangled in situations of power and abuse, and it underscores the importance of creating safer spaces for victims and witnesses to come forward without fear of retribution. Ultimately, the case surrounding Diddy and the testimonies of those who worked closest to him offer a sobering look at the realities of life within the entertainment industry's upper echelons. They reveal how easily power can be abused, how quickly silence can become complicity, and how difficult it is to break free from a system that rewards loyalty over morality. While the former assistant's decision to testify may not undo the past, it represents a crucial step toward accountability and healing, not just for her but for everyone who has ever been too afraid to speak the truth.